If you want to just get engaged in a video game that has all your favorite Marvel characters, Ultimate Alliance is literally the game for you. Not the deepest form of combat, not my favorite when it comes to combo systems, but it's nice to see just an embracement of the Marvel Universe and seeing all your characters literally make a huge Ultimate Alliance type thing. And when it comes to power level, for the most part, they're pretty much accurate when it comes to their power levels. But how strong are they, though? Throughout many parts of the story, it can get quite cosmic. And we visit a lot of major places in this universe as well. Along with fighting a lot of major foes, you get an idea of how strong they are with the major foes and the heroes and their lore in this game's universe are. A large team of X-Men, also with cosmic powered characters like even the Phoenix, even characters like Morbius, Punisher, seem to be accurate, Moon Knight as well, even Blade, who's a beast at swordsmanship as well. I personally decided to do Ultimate Alliance 3 because that's the newest one, and that's the one I'm most immersed in when it comes to the roster personally. In my opinion, the most fun. Maybe if the graphics aren't my favorite, but the gameplay is still good. Not to mention it's fresh on my mind since it's the newer Ultimate Alliance. Obviously, when it comes to gameplay, the characters aren't going to be in gameplay busting planets because of game mechanics for obvious reasons. There will be puzzles, stuff like that. Heck, even Deadpool in this game made fun of the game mechanics of this game via fourth wall breaking. It's almost like the developers are poking fun at the fact that, yeah, it's still a game, guys. Don't forget that. So don't expect everything to make perfect sense in every corner.
And fight in a convenient squad of 4 while everyone else in our alliance seemingly abandons us until a pivotal moment?
This happens quite a lot in this game throughout this video, so just get used to that. There are points where certain characters are in cutscenes, and then after you do the boss battle, that character from that cutscene doesn't even pop up no more. It's just a game mechanic, man. Like, it, you know, random characters appear in certain cutscenes. Just know that all of them are part of the same alliance via canon of the game and narrative of this game, though. But they had to use Deadpool to poke fun at game mechanics, though. Don't you love that? You can't take game mechanics to limit the characters, right? An example of using game mechanics the wrong way would be this. You see these walls over here? That's a wall in the game, right? We know Invisible Woman and Cable are strong enough to blast through these walls, right? Like, imagine in the game, if you use Invisible Woman, go towards this wall and use her abilities and the wall doesn't break, and you say she can't destroy walls. Obviously, that's a game mechanic because the game doesn't want you to break these particular walls right here. Believe it or not, there's people that actually try to use this argument when it comes to video games. I mean, Guardians can withstand very large falls. Like, Gamora's strong enough to land on her feet with no pressure. The opponents they fight, like Nebula, are superhumanly strong physically. She can jump that high because she's strong like that. Characters like Rocket have their overpowered guns, blasters for Star-Lord, and Gamora has her God Slayer sword. Characters like Drax are super strong, can lift up big stuff like that. Gamora's fighting skills can lift up beings while she stabs them, showing her strength. Groot destroys fodder like it's nothing. Black Order members that they have to compete against in this game are very strong as well to show what they have to face up against. They're implying that Proxima in this game universe can destroy planets possibly. That doesn't seem like much of an exaggeration based on how powerful the Black Order is portrayed in this game. She can move faster than I can see. She even says her attacks cannot harm her. Infinity Stones in this game are mighty enough to shatter worlds on their own. That's like a bare bones minimum lowball. Stones like the Time Stone are considered to be able to affect the laws of nature. Not to mention the Black Order themselves, without the Infinity Stones, are considered a threat to the Nova Corps. Nova Prime is a powerhouse tier, like Thor is tier in comic lore, and the Black Order is a threat to them. More than just him, just the Nova Corps in general they're a threat to. Stated they are some of the most vicious warriors in the known universe. Iron Man confirmed that these do have indeed
genuine Infinity Stones, jam-packed with endless cosmic energy. They grant near omnipotent abilities to whoever holds them.
Not to mention that the villains are pretty comic accurate too, like characters like Dormammu, magic-wielding Madman, can corrupt the entire dark dimension to his whim. Not to mention on top of the fact that Dormammu actually had the Reality Stone's power. This was Doctor Strange even said it about Dormammu using the Reality Stone's power.
Dormammu's toying with the Reality Stone's power. He's altering the fundamental properties of this dimension, right down to our perception of it.
They even stated one Infinity Stone by itself could force the universe into shutdown mode. You're probably thinking that how the heck did they fight Dormammu in this game if he's already this powerful with a Reality Stone? They actually had to use brains on this situation by absorbing and reflecting Dormammu's energy back at him. They even said that this dimension has endless arcane energy for Dormammu, so Dormammu's pretty comic accurate here. You don't want to fight Dormammu in his realm, even in comic lore. I mean, in comic lore, Dormammu did fight the living embodiment of the universe itself, Eternity, so it kind of adds up with this game's lore. Even Thanos in his universe is pretty comic book accurate. He has energy projection, cosmic energy manipulation, and can produce so much blast power without any Infinity Stone. Someone in the game that was wielding all the Infinity Stones shot a blast at Thanos. And Thanos, even though the guy supposedly had infinite power, his son, had like a literal beam struggle with the guy that had all these stones. And it's not like an instant overpowering moment. And he's literally having dialogue as he's blasting him with his own blast power, with no stones. See that? literally beaming him away. Obviously, Thanos wasn't on his level still. It was just impressive to see him temporarily hold back a beam struggle if somebody had all the stones. I'm just saying. Not to mention that the character probably didn't have full control of this power. Even they stated in the game that characters didn't have control of this power. The stones have control of you. It even states this is how it feels to be like omnipotent. That pretty much confirms Thanos in base form could easily blast away planet in this Ultimate Alliance 3 game. Not to mention, I just showed you the statement of Proxima in this game's verse. One of Thanos' underlings in this game says she failed world, so it adds up with him. Base form Thanos with no stone. When he did have the stones, they said the universe depends on us. The universe was in jeopardy. Thanos was going to use these stones in this game to obliterate the universe. Not to mention, Thanos took multiple attacks from a being with the Infinity Stones' power without just instantly getting obliterated. Even though he was getting overpowered, though. This universe will be mine alone to destroy. Gauntlet was definitely powerful enough to wipe out the universe. And yeah, he has super strength and gameplay mechanics to be able to lift up cars, too. So yeah. Now, when it comes to the power of the Ultimate Alliance itself, it's implied that they're pretty accurate when it comes to comic lore as well, because characters like Carol Danvers in the Ultimate Alliance games universe is literally stated to have the ability to manipulate vast cosmic power to create tense beams and photon energy blasts as powerful as stars themselves. This should not be an exaggeration because that makes sense with comic lore, because she's literally destroyed planets before. It's also stated in comics that she has enough photon blasts to melt a hole in a star. The game stating this, the energy blasts are as powerful as stars themselves, is not an exaggeration. Cosmic beings like Jean Grey Phoenix. Notice how in this game narrative she has the green outfit, so of course she's not going to be as strong as the White Phoenix of the Crown, but yeah, even her green outfit, Dark Phoenix state is still a beast in this game regardless. I think they oversimplified how powerful she is too. They did state that she is a primordial cosmic force that has the power to bring new life or burn entire world. Just listen how she explains her power herself. On top of these statements, how she's the embodiment of the Cosmic Phoenix Force and how she's a primordial cosmic force. During the DLC, Dr. Doom had possession of an Infinity Stone. Each Infinity Stone on their own has like basically infinite power in their own perspective aspect of reality, right? Phoenix literally stated she can sense an intense concentration of cosmic energy coming from Doom's castle.
I haven't felt anything this powerful since the Phoenix Force.
Comparing their power, she didn't say above it. She said, I haven't felt anything this powerful since the Phoenix Force, letting you know how powerful the Phoenix Force is in this game's universe as well. Characters like Susan Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, are powerful enough to shield the Ultimate Alliance from a blast from a literal celestial.
If it is, little brother, we're not going down without a fight.
Even beings that aren't necessarily on Phoenix's level of power still are ridiculously powerful enough to shield from celestial blasts. Invisible Woman should be able to easily destroy planets or stars as well, based on the fact with that blast with that celestial. She's very handy in battle, can turn invisible, and literally just suffocate you with a bubble around your head or something. Not to mention, characters like Captain Marvel has already been stated that they blast are as powerful as the stars themselves. And this also leads me to the belief that the Hulk is also a star buster or planet buster in this game as well. She should be able to destroy planets with ease, considering all this lore so far. Not to mention, Proxima Midnight, one of the members of the Black Order, stated that she has failed worlds. And look how fast she is. Despite her stated she has failed worlds before, she isn't even the heaviest hitter on the team of the Black Order. That right goes to Cole Obsidian. So Proxima Midnight says she has failed worlds. She's not even the heaviest hitter. It literally states Thanos' heaviest hitter. I think it's convenient that they had Hulk in this cutscene. So it's kind of showing that narrative-wise, they wanted to have Hulk in that same range with Cole Obsidian at the very least. Not to mention he infused his weapon with a freaking Power Stone. This is kind of showing narrative that the writers want him to be on par with him, giving him like literal dialogue in this fight. If Proxima has failed world, Cole Obsidian's the heaviest hitter, but yet they gave Hulk dialogue against him and they're both kind of brute type characters. It has to confirm that he's in that planet or star shattering ranges as well, along with characters like Carol and stuff like that sort. Not to mention Hulk is cocky like usual. Hulk even has dialogue saying that he is the strongest one there is in this game. Characters like Ant-Man can grow to the size of skyscraper buildings, so that's accurate. Look at the size comparison of everybody versus his size, so it's pretty accurate. Dr. Doom even joined this Ultimate Alliance. An oversimplification nonetheless. They stated that Black Bolt voice can shatter mountains. Characters like Gamora is no joke in this game. She even uses guns. Gamora even says that Venom should be fearful and bid on a team with her. She's implying that she could take on Venom. Similar to comics, she got experimented on to be a better warrior. And we basically got our own friendly teleporter on the Ultimate Alliance team known as Lockjaw. More implications of the Avengers or just teams in general. Even asked, do you think we have enough power on our team to stop Thanos? She sounds pretty confident. She even said, we always find a way, implying that in this game's universe, Thanos isn't the only major threat they've faced before. More proof of these characters' power, characters like Captain Marvel have claimed to stop entire alien fleets. They stated that the stones are a threat to all 10 realms. Further proof about Hulk's power, he's literally stated he smashed gods before. And if we're being honest, this universe's version of Iron Man should technically be a planet buster as well, because of different armor sets he has in this game's lore. Confirmed he does indeed have a Hulk buster in the game narrative somewhere in the game. Can't play with it though, but he has one in the narrative somewhere. Scarlet Witch seems to be pretty comic accurate when it comes to her power. She literally has stated she has altered reality before. The cost was too great. She's probably talking about the big omniversal event when she became overpowered, reset reality and everything with the House of M event in the comics. This game implied that they went through that same history as well, with voice lines similar to this. Characters like Elsa Bloodstone, who is a literal monster hunter by the way, quoted that she has fought Fin Fang Foom. Characters like The Thing seem to have similar comic lore to characters like the Hulk. You know, him and Hulk like to joke around and fight and stuff. He says, maybe you could have taken the Hulk, but not me. He's saying he's better than Hulk, like he's cocky and strength. Makes sense to the game's lore as well. He can make shockwaves with his head. Boom. Big 100-ton type rocks. He can lift big chunks of rocks out of the ground, bigger than his own body. So this quote seems to be accurate of him being cocky. She states she knows how tempting the call of infinite power can be. She's implying with her experiences with the Phoenix Force. And when it comes to Dr. Doom, he actually did join the Alliance at the end. He states science, sorcery, there's nothing Doom has not mastered. This sounds comic accurate as well. It's implied that Captain Marvel is massively fast and light in this game's lore, considering that the Guardians were somewhere deep in space in their spaceship. And Captain Marvel literally flew out there to get them, to recruit them. Speed flying to Earth. Oh yeah, back to Doom for a second. There was this magically sealed chamber that Dr. Doom used his magic sorcery or skills to open up with his magical knowledge, showing it's pretty accurate to me. Not to mention his tech and Doom bots and all that stuff. That's when he got the Infinity Stone. Stated he is versed in the dark art. It seems Doom was telling the truth here. And for the love of goodness, if you're still doubting how strong this universe's versions of the Infinity Stones or the Infinity Gauntlets really are, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel begging him, do not erase reality, confirming that these could have done so. You should not disrespect this Fantastic Four team though, considering that they've already fought Galactus based on these voice lines. Johnny was a help for doing so, Human Torch. There's implications he could blow away a planet too, because it literally states in his voice lines, I'm going Nova, implying he could possibly go supernova. Even though it didn't say supernova here, let's face it, in this game he probably could go supernova as well. Wakanda and the Black Panther lore seems to be pretty accurate as well. This is an Easter egg to the King of the Dead amp he does in comics, where he summons all the souls and spirits of Black Panthers and consult them, get all their knowledge and fighting skills. But in this game they used it with the Soul Stone stuff. Totally comic accurate right here, where he gets blessed and talks to other Black Panthers. Characters that Black Panther fights, like Claw, can blast apart bridges with his sound cannons, thick bridges at that. T'Challa seems to be pretty strong as well, literally blitzing them faster than they can react, chopping them up, straight on speed blitzing them, showing that he's got fighting speeds like his comic self. Kinda moving like a blur. Wakanda has state-of-the-art defense cannons like these Panther cannon thingy. Wakanda defenses showing its accuracy. Then you got the Dora Milaje who have vibrating weapons too. Look at these cannons. See that? All that force you can produce. Super soldiers can literally perceive bullets while they're mid-flight. Like how characters like the Winter Soldier blocked all that with his reaction speed. The Dora Milaje have combat speed, being able to deflect these blasters or bullets like that. See what I'm saying? You see these big boulders right here? Characters like Thor can lift up hundreds of tons, how big he is, and look at the boulder size. And that's actually considered lightweight, considering how the statements that Thor said about himself. Powerhouses like Thor seem to be insane as well. Notice what Black Panther stated. The walls between the life and the afterlife are thinner than most think. Thor literally says if he had his way, his hammer will crush those walls into rubble. He's basically implying that he can crush the walls between life and the afterlife with his freaking hammer. The powerhouses of the game seem to all be leagues above planet-shattering levels of power, just from their pure dialogue and their feats, and the game descriptions of the characters. I mean, Cole Obsidian is the heaviest hitter of the Black Order, not counting Thanos, of course, and Proxima says she can fail the world. Hulk is implied to have like a little rivalry with Cole Obsidian in the game's narrative. Thor should be around this range as well. Thor and his allies did fight Surtur in this game, so it kind of adds up yet again. Surtur is a being that has given Odin challenges, even in this game's universe. Still has his godlike strength along with his hammer, lightning abilities, weather manipulation, and etc. Surtur even stated not even the All-Father could stop him. He's talking about Odin of this game, And Odin of this game seems to take a lot of influence from the classic comics. They used to call Odin omnipotent. Obviously, this is an exaggeration, but the game seems to be saying the same type of stuff. Obviously, both are exaggerations. They're not unstoppable, but they kind of let you know Odin is probably above our favorite powerhouse tiers when it comes to like all father level, but not actually omnipotent, right? Like some of these comics exaggerated back in the day. With the Surtur situation, if Surtur was confident that he could have taken on the All-Father, one could say Surtur right here could be just considered a universal being, and Thor, not to mention that he said he's waited eons to cleave this bridge in two. Thor was a helping hand on knocking him backwards. They didn't necessarily knock him out here, but he did knock him off the Rainbow Bridge, kind of temporarily battlefield removing him, one could say. They actually had to fight the Destroyer. Thor, Loki helped as well. Notice how Thor was trying to harm the Destroyer. Same with Loki. They couldn't really do nothing to him. They even state, is there nothing that can harm this worthless hunk of tin? Built to destroy it to withstand any foe, they say. Any foe but one, implying that Odin is above them in raw power. Odin literally blitzes it and pierces right through it like that, showing, yeah, he has a high regard for Skyfathers in this game. Yeah, Odin is a beast. Just consistent. Look how much debris the thing can just literally lift up out the ground with his raw power. All of that rock. Let me go back on how powerful Invisible Woman is, on how the reason why she was able to block that Celestial Blast was impressive, because the Celestials are described. The Celestials are a lot bigger than he remembered. Reed Richards simply says this is only what we perceive them to be. In actuality, a Celestial's true cosmic form is virtually unfathomable to the human mind. Kind of like how us mere mortals can see in 3 dimensions and Celestials can perceive things higher than 3 dimensions. That's why Reed said that. Our human mind can see this giant thing, but in actuality, his true cosmic form is bigger than this, making what Sue Storm did even more freaking impressive. So many leagues times planet-shattering levels of power shown in this game. Characters like Doctor Strange have become well acquainted with unique styles of magic inherent to each region of this world. Powerhouse tiers like Nova even note of the threat of the Black Order, on why fighting the Black Order in this game is impressive as heck.
We're in trouble.
Characters like Drax and Ultimate Alliance 3 are deadly strong too. Drax has a voice line that says, "Thanos, you die by my hand," similar to comics. He's really trying to hunt Thanos with his blade. It was stated that Drax was literally created to take on Thanos. Now, when it comes to Captain Marvel, the amount of energy she can absorb is definitely limited to some degree. When he was fighting a being that had all the stones, of course, she stated she can barely absorb and rechannel his power fast enough. So yeah, she can be overloaded with too much energy, but it takes a lot to overload her, considering that this being was using Infinity Stone, all of them, the same Infinity Stone. Corvus Glaive, when he had the Reality Stone, stated he could shred the fabric of reality itself. This is only one stone. To get more understanding on why that Celestial blocking blast by Invisible Woman was a big deal, Reed stated, Doom manages to use the stone to revive the Celestial. The ramifications would be disastrous, not just for Earth, meaning that's beyond a planetary busting threat, but for our entire plane of existence. That's how big of a threat Celestial was, but yet this Ultimate Alliance combated this. Showing truly that the thing is a brute. He even talks about how he was wondering when he was going to get a real challenge. That's the thing for you. Even Invisible Woman says only you would think surviving a dimension full of alien insects was too easy. The Black Order was even strong enough to take back characters like Juggernaut and Colossus of the group. Characters like Juggernaut get tossed back. You can see Proxima fighting Colossus. Even Colossus withstood blasts from her, even deflected kind of off of him a little bit. The fact that the Black Order can hold up against a fight with Juggernaut as well is insane. Let me cool down from some of the cosmic stuff right quick. Characters like Spider-Man can overpower multiple metahumans, showing that he's above your average metahuman. Like, it's literally nothing to him. They're literally in a prison fighting a whole bunch of metahumans in a metahuman prison. Spider-Man showing his competence as well. Fought a giant-sized Sandman, showing Spider-Man is more than likely, like his comic self, can lift over hundreds of tons if he's fighting beings like this. But they had to win via elemental and stuff. I mean, if characters like Jessica Jones is this strong, to be able to do that to this big old crane bridge thingy, I would definitely say Spider-Man can do the same. Same with characters like Luke Cage. Spider-Man and Luke Cage are way above your average metahuman tiers. Same with Venom. Like how Luke Cage was literally messing up a whole bunch of different metahumans in the Raft prison on his own, putting them back in their cells on his own. And he's bulletproof too. They asked how many superpowered prisons does this place hold?
616.
Characters like Iron Fist can take on mobs of ninjas on his own without even using his chi and chance punches, just pure fighting skill so far. Just a straight full-blown martial artist in all degree of the word. His immortal weapon, Iron Fist Punch, can create this big of a shockwave against all those opponents. Characters like Daredevil has fighting speed thanks to his senses, can react to traps, thanks to sonar vision, jumping over it, just all around it, not getting hit by none of them. Running through all the traps, thanks to agility and physical paralysis, as you can see. Members like Elektra, she's an assassin with great fighting speed, reacting to shurikens, dodging all of that, even kicking one in the way. And even Luke Cage has good reflexes, fighting Bullseye on this occasion. They fought Kingpin. At least this particular group in the cutscenes looked like they did. Realistically, a 4v1 with all these people would be too much for Kingpin. So in the narrative, Kingpin actually got amped up by this special crystal that gave him a humongous boost in power. Allowed him to be able to blast up off the top of the building. This game gets pretty cosmic, so I think this is one of the best examples to see how strong the Luke Cage and Iron Fist tiers are in this game. Even somewhat an idea of how good Daredevil is. I mean, he was at least powered up enough to do that to the building and let you know how much he's powered up. In the cutscenes, the people they had in the Ultimate Alliance group at the moment seemed like Luke Cage, Daredevil, Elektra, and Iron Fist, letting you know the power. I mean, they were fighting the same Kingpin that was able to lift this big old pillar in the air like that. That thing had to weigh over hundreds of tons. Despite all of this, they overpowered him in the process. Not to mention characters like Bullseye can throw stuff extremely hard, like that card going through the head like that. Unrealistic tossing or throwing power, similar to comic lore. Despite this power Kingpin had, working together as the Ultimate Alliance group, these four, at least in the cutscene, yep, working together. And they was able to get the staff for themselves. Daredevil. Senses for you. Characters like the Wasp is pretty much comic book accurate. Can get small, shoot stinging plasma blasts while she's small. Get the drop on her opponents by going small. Stingrays. And they fought Ultron with an Infinity Stone. Damaged Ultron this badly. Maximum damage beyond auto repair functions, they say. It kind of showed how powerful this particular roster in this cutscenes was to do this to Ultron. Iron Man was in this group with Wasp. Characters like Hawkeye have incredible agility, even getting blasted out of the Quinjet. Has the arrow skills. A whole bunch of Sentinels surround Colossus. Sentinels that are a couple stories tall. Colossus takes on multiple. He would be considered like at least a medium powerhouse tier, blocking the blast, somewhere in the range of Captain Marvel Hulkish ranges. Maybe not exactly equal, but close enough, lifting this giant Sentinel up like that. Cyclops has blast power enough to literally destroy Sentinels and do that to multiple. Characters like Wolverine have indestructible claws. Adamantium slices the Sentinel's head off that quickly. Nightcrawler and Psylocke, who's a psionic being, powerful too. She's even powerful enough to shield the Ultimate Alliance squad from Black Order member known as the Supergiant, who had the Mind Stone at the time. That's how strong Psylocke's psionic abilities are. Supergiant is already a formidable telepath. Try to shield us from her mental attack. Characters like Magneto even was able to destroy Infinity Sentinels, like a Sentinel that had the Infinity Stone powering him up. Yet Magneto was able to do that. He's a powerhouse tier in the game too. Yep. Magneto is strong enough to stop Colossus in his tracks, a medium powerhouse tier at least, but mainly it's because he's made of metal though. See what I mean? Small occasions of his blast power against this roster of the Ultimate Alliance squad. Blasting, beasting them backward. In this particular cutscene, Juggernaut's strong enough to obviously run over characters like Psylocke, Wolverine, and Nightcrawler. I wish they would put Hulk in cutscenes like this. For some reason, Hulk's not present in these cutscenes. Deadpool has Uzis in this game along with his swords. And characters like Colossus has off-screen one-on-ones with Juggernaut himself too, showing the writers where they want him to be at when it comes to power, but we didn't get to see it. It's pretty obvious that Colossus is meant to be a heavier hitter in this game. While there was barriers being weakened in the dimension, characters like Scarlet Witch can use her chaos magic to use her blast power to break through different dimensions. Respect that level of power. Characters in this game just are in great condition. Like these long drops like this can just land, superhero landing style. Obviously has good aiming. I already talked about earlier how she likes to hunt. Now when it comes to Doctor Strange, he's the Sorcerer Supreme obviously, so when it comes to magic, he's insanely good. He stated that the Eye of Agamotto sees all. In this game that has Vishanti lore, the Sorcerer Supreme bows to no one. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. Stated he's the master of the mystic arts, and we saw what Dr. Doom in this game can do already. He said he won't take my title again without a fight, Loki. He said, I'm still a doctor, I just heal universes now. I'm about to answer the age-old question in this video you're probably wondering. If the Infinity Stones in this game was really that powerful, how did the Ultimate Alliance characters win? Even with this big roster, realistically, they shouldn't be able to win. Consider how powerful Dormammu is in his own realm with the Reality Stone. He states the future holds only darkness for you and all of reality. So how were the heroes actually able to win, especially against opponents like this and Thanos with the stones. Like, how did they win if these stones are similar to their comic book counterpart? It's simply because there was like these crystals they had to use in the game's narrative to even the odds with these Infinity Stones. You first saw it with Kingpin, like I showed earlier in the vid, and then the heroes got a piece. Loki saw what the crystal can do. Loki got a hold of these crystals, learning to experience the crystals firsthand. He even said the Kingpin had no idea about the power he possessed. Loki became a part of the Ultimate Alliance squad, so his knowledge of the crystals, along with gathering more crystals to help even the odds, was actually a helpful aid in defeating Thanos or other beings with the stones. They get their full potential amped up, and it grants them power beyond understanding. Heck, it even made characters like Red Skull, that's not usually a cosmic extent threat. By Red Stone started gathering so many that he said if he gets enough of these, he might be able to control all of reality if he possesses enough of them, letting you know the potential of these different stones that are not necessarily the Infinity Stone. And that's what the heroes had to use against Thanos to even the odds. Like, all these boxes became a part of their collection. They got these from Red Skull after defeating him in battle, of course. He said these crystals alone may not control all of reality, but with enough of them in his possession, perhaps he shall. This was a crucial turning point for the Ultimate Alliance squad. I mean, look what Red Skull can do with this in his possession. Look at that energy projection. Red Skull even said he's never felt such power. He even got so cocky he said, "From this throne I shall rule the whole cosmos." Characters like Storm can create thunderstorms accurately enough, can use ice and all these different elements like she should. Notice after their defeat during the Hela stuff, Hela seemed intimidated by Odin's power, but she wasn't really intimidated by Thor, kind of implying that she sees Odin as a bigger threat than Thor. Odin even threatened her to leave, or your threat is going to get cut permanently. And she just listened. With those crystals in play, that's what was able to equal the odds with them actually being able to get the victory on Thanos. Because realistically, there's no way, even with all these heroes, with all them stones, that wouldn't matter. Doctor Strange explains that the energies in this particular area they went to, he's tapped into the well of all creation. This being Thane with all these stones, including the Infinity Armor, said past, present, future, all time is his to command. This dude Iron Man even stated he's going to build his own Infinity Armor. Oh yeah, the Infinity Armor. Instead of the Infinity Gauntlet, he got the Infinity Armor, the rest of the outfit basically. Thanos only wanted to use the Gauntlet. Even he knew there was forces in the armor he couldn't begin to grasp. Thanos stated right there, it's a full set, and this is what corrupted him. Literally too much to contain for him. Forged for infinite power. Even stated way more than a glove. This guy literally dragged the Ultimate Alliance to the heart of infinity. Yeah, the center of the universe, birthplace of the stones. When the armor was consuming Thane in this game, they left it up to interpretation, but they implied that Thanos kind of tried to destroy the gauntlet itself. Not the stones though, but just the gauntlet, I guess. I don't know. They didn't really explain it really. All you saw was that, and then you saw the stones just floating there, and you don't see Thanos or Thane. So, you know, take it as you will. And not to mention that Gamora considers characters like Proxima a threat, cosmic stuff aside. And more lore on why the powerhouse tiers are a threat in this universe. They stated, Rocket's opinion about it says the Hulk was born here on Earth, but his name is known and feared across the entire cosmos. And implied in this game, he survived the arenas of Sakaar, Water Hulk planet in this universe as well, stuff similar to comic. They even stated if we want any hope of taking on Thanos and winning, keep this monster under control if you want any hope of taking on Thanos and winning. They also considered Thor lucky to use against Thanos' ugly hide or face. He states, I mean, we're going up against the universe's biggest threats. Might as well bring the guy who fights actual giants, right? Even Drax says he's warrior born. They stated Gamora may be the deadliest woman in the galaxy, but when it comes to Earth, the Black Widow has that title locked down. That's respect for Black Widow. They stated that Scarlet Witch can hold her own against likes of Doctor Strange. It's stated again by Black Bolt that his whisper can topple a mountain. That's an oversimplification. Did you guys know this game's universe version of our heroes, the Ultimate Alliance, were this strong? Just respect them all, the powerhouses. I know you guys didn't expect a video like this, but hopefully it was a treat and you enjoyed yourself. I bet you didn't notice half this stuff during your playthrough, but that's my job, ain't it? To deep dive into the stuff we love. There's also characters I didn't go over, but yeah, they didn't have as many feats, but yeah, this should pretty much apply. Everybody seems to be pretty high up there on their power levels, like Iceman's pretty powerful too, Gambit, Elektra, Falcon, Crystal, Deadpool, Blade, and just etc., right? You gotta respect this Ultimate Alliance. This is one deadly team. Respect the Ultimate Alliance 3.